I'm just sitting here, I got time. It's clear to see from up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
The human soul yearns for discovery. By unlocking the mysteries of the universe, we unlock truths within ourselves. That's true. Our journey into space will not only make us stronger and more prosperous, but will unite us behind grand ambitions and bring us all closer together. Wouldn't that be nice? Can you believe that space is going to do that? I thought politics would do that. Well, we'll have to rely on space instead. Every launch into the skies is another step forward toward a future where our differences seem small.
Well, there's definitely been conspiracies that have been put together and executed. And these conspiracies have greatly affected the American people.
Yes.
Operation Northwoods was one that they were planning on blowing up a drone jetliner, blaming it on the Cubans. And they were going to do this in order to get people to be excited about a war with Cuba. So we know that there were people, at least in 1962, that were planning on shit like this.
Yeah.
And the idea that that just went away and no one does that anymore.
It's crazy.
I don't believe that.
The moon landing
Dinosaurs were
one.
not
The moon landings, are you kidding?
And then the Earth is flat as once where I just shake my head like.
The moon landing one's my favorite. I was completely
So you think they did not go to the moon?
No, I don't think that anymore. I think I don't know. They had seven attempts, 6 of them successful.
Because every mission they use different astronauts.
Like have the same star over and over again?
No, the 3 dudes who pulled it off. Dude, are you kidding? They did it before.
That was the only time in history that a human being has been more than 400 miles above the Earth's surface.
We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
All the space station missions, all the space shuttle missions, all that stuff is
Within orbit.
Yeah, it's low. We've never really sent a living thing out through the magnetosphere, through the Van Allen radiation belts, into deep space. Have it, I mean, there's all these possibilities of solar flares and anything that would have killed them instantly. And then we haven't been able to do that since 1972.
Why have we never gone back? It's been 50. Surely our technology is far superior to what it was in 1969, right?
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
The technology back then was nothing compared to what they have now in terms of calculations and computers. There's unquestionably some stuff that, whether it was images or video, that was faked. You know, George Bush Sr. said that they were going to go to the moon, back to the moon again. In like fucking, when was that? 1990 or whatever the hell that was?
The directive I'm signing today will refocus America's space program on human exploration and discovery. It marks an important step in returning American astronauts to the moon.
People have always said we're going to go back to the moon, but we haven't been back since 1972. Then it gets weird when you find out that Wernher von Braun was a fucking Nazi. He was the head of NASA. He was the guy who organized the moon landings. And when we won World War II, they took all the top Nazi scientists. He was the head rocket guy. These are the people that were the head engineers and the people that designed it. Wernher von Braun himself was saying how impossible it was years before Operation Paperclip. I stopped saying that we never went to the moon because I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You have to come to the realization that you're probably never going to know the real answer with a lot of these things.
I think they filmed some stuff in test runs and then tried to pass that
They
stuff
their
off.
iPhone.
Lunar module leaving the surface of the moon and panned up and watched it go. That they did all that remotely. It's all. There's some squirrely footage.
Are you kidding?
You ever see the video of them jumping around? It looks like they're on trampolines.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That we had made up as the Lunar Olympics.
Like they're just bouncing straight up in the air. You're like, well, what the fuck is that? How come the physics are different in different flight? Apollo 11, they're barely getting off the ground.
Isn't it one where they're walking, but they're kind of going,
Yeah. And then there's also ones where they fall down. It looks like they're getting yanked up by wires. I think it's entirely possible that some of that stuff was faked. Like, homeboy falls down, and then it looks like he gets yanked back up. Look at this. Whoops.
Oh, he did not. That's
Like, what
not
is
him
that?
standing up.
Yeah, what is this?
That's not
Look.
him standing up. You can't stand up like that.
Right.
You can't look at. There's nothing on the ground. How's he going to get the momentum
He's
to
getting
go
yanked up.
like this?
Exactly.
Right. You can't get
Right.
up.
On the
I said
Bleacher
that
Report.
video is fake.
No, the video is real. That's from television.
That guy standing up like that, he got help somehow.
Yeah, well,
you can't stand up like that.
Very well, he could have been on wires.
Is what we're seeing a mixture of fact and fiction?
It is fact. It is fiction. It's mixed together. It's hard to separate them until you examine it closely.
You know, Neil Armstrong gave this real cryptic speech on the 25th anniversary of the moon mission saying that
We have only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
what the fuck does that mean? You're supposed to say, yo, I went to the moon, bitch.
Maybe he's giving it away.
Truth protective layers. Like, I don't even understand what that means. The press conference is one of the more fascinating things. These guys look like they just stole something and they're being questioned. They might have been forced to say some things that they didn't want to say. There's a lot of weirdness with the moon landing.
Who benefits from it?
The United States government did because it showed military superiority over the Russians. The Nixon administration, people were just flat out full of shit.
Of course, these things are fully choreographed and edited in advance to make sure that there's nothing too obvious that you can see that gives away that this is a suspension in front of a blue screen hoax.
This stuff, they would air it on TV once in 1969. You never see it again.
Dan sat in the pilot's seat during this operation, sort of monitoring the motion of the vehicle, making sure that it was steady and that there were very few vibrations of any sort. Here's a picture of the INSAT actually being deployed from the spacecraft.
It could have been that they were using that to simulate what it would be like, because they definitely filmed a lot of simulation. It's entirely possible that some of those simulations got passed off as being an actual video of them on the moon.
Sure.
Having seen hundreds of rocket firings when I was employed by Rocketdyne, I know that the jet of the lunar module lander, the lunar lander, would have created an enormous crater. It would have scoured the moon's surface. It would have tossed up rocks, sand, everything, and created a crater maybe so large that the entire lunar lander could have sunk into it.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Or they faked the whole fucking thing. I wasn't there.
If you don't know, and you don't know that you don't know, that is particularly dangerous. That can graduate someone into adulthood who cannot tell the difference between what is and is not true about this world.
They faked 6 moon missions.
But
Joe.
that doesn't matter. These are not the same people.
So
We're living
because
in a
they're different
time.
people, they're not going to. I don't
All over
understand
the
that
world,
logic.
Well, the logic is just because someone faked something one point in time before you were alive, doesn't mean that those same human beings have managed to download their brains into everybody that ever did that job for the rest of time, because they're not the same humans.
Hardest shit ever accomplished, the greatest by the human race. The
Right.
greatest accomplishment ever was landing on the moon, right? Got shot up in a rocket. They were in a orbiter, and then the orbiter shot out the lunar, like the LEM, and then it lands. They played golf, went doombug riding, did donuts in the sand. They get back in, take off, dock with that orbiter, and then fly back. That's the hardest shit ever. No one died. Because every mission, they use different astronauts.
Like a show, like have the same star over and over again.
No, the 3 dudes who pulled it off.
Keep doing it.
Dude, are you kidding? They did it before.
If we want to get the public real fired up, I think we gotta have a base on the moon. You know, it's like that would be pretty cool. And then going beyond that, getting people to Mars. You know?
Yeah. Certainly sending people further than we've ever sent them before, I think, is captivating for the people. So
yeah, exactly.
It's captivating for me, I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Just having some permanent presence on another heavenly body, which would be the kind of the moon base, and that's sort of that's the continuance of the dream of Apollo that I think people are really looking for.